Hello everybody, welcome back to the BSDF1 Podcast. Today's episode is a special one. We have our first guest with us today. Louise, welcome to the show. How are you doing?
I'm good, hello.
Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello everybody. Hello everyone. Hello.
Hello.
So, Lou, is it alright to call you Lou? Of course it is. Of course it's right to call you Lou. Don't know why I said that. So basically, what this episode's going to be, because you've watched us for a long time, haven't you, Lou?
Yes. Big fan.
And then big fan.
Number one
Very
fan.
biased.
That's why I'm on the podcast, because I'm number one fan.
Number one fan. First and only fan.
Oh,
So-
we'll get some friction there with TikTok.
Yeah, some of the TikTok fans there really do. A lot of fans now. So, in this episode, and as our podcast always does, Lou, we're going to ask you 3 questions, okay? You just have to answer these 3 questions with a very small thing about why you think, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So, who is your favourite Formula 1 driver?
At the moment, Magnussen. I put him in as my favourite driver at the minute.
Wow. Why? So, why with that? Boys, did you think that? Kevin Magnussen, favourite driver?
No, I didn't.
Honestly, no.
No,
it was gonna
I mean-
be
You were expecting me to say Max, and I wasn't going to say that.
No. Thought it was going to be Lando, to be honest.
No, Lando's not doing
Why at the
anything.
moment?
I like
That's a harsh
Lando's
review.
not doing anything. Rip.
Holy.
Yeah, but I'm on that
Rip
camp as well.
bozo.
Lando
Talk
does
about
nothing
coming
except
straight
for
in there
DJ.
with the punches.
So why at the
But
moment?
yeah, he's on the content, but he's not like racing wise. He's like, I don't watch him. I can't watch him when he's racing because
too far
it's
back.
unexplainable.
So why Magnussen
So,
then? Why
coming away
Magnussen?
from that, I want to know, we want to know why. Why Magnussen at the moment?
Because he's just under the points. So I like it was silly when we watched it the other time, like the other week or ages ago now. He was like under the points, and then I was like, "Go Magnussen!" And then he got up. And literally since then, I've decided that he's my favorite driver of the season, like of this season. Normally it's Daniel Ricciardo, but
I was about to
of
say
the season
yes,
it's
Daniel.
Magnussen.
Classic.
Why
But
Daniel?
it's only because he's under the points,
Classic.
but he's going up the points. As in Magnussen's going up the points, but he's at the bottom. You've got to support the bottom people. Stop supporting, well, to be fair, Lewis Hamilton is at the bottom, but you got to stop supporting the top people. Because
Leave.
leave.
Out of the bat, Lou.
I'm joking.
Taking names. Wow.
Throwing
That
shade.
is
You can cut that bit.
that is a hard. That is a
So you-
harsh.
Big haters.
There's no way we're cutting that.
So far,
No.
Lando Norris is doing nothing, and Lewis Hamilton is at the back.
Yeah, but he is. George Russell's above him, isn't he? At the moment,
True.
give him the 7 years, but
I mean,
how many years? But
Yeah, take out that engine
8
failure. I
years.
suppose you're not lying.
yeah, to be fair, and
I mean, it's
Magnussen
very-
is there.
that is true.
He's good.
Yeah.
Okay,
Where's he
Meg.
from? I don't know where
Lou.
he's from, but I like him.
Denmark.
Well, have a guess. Have a guess where he's from.
Switzerland.
No, begins with an S though.
Sweden.
He's Swedish.
Ah, see, that's why.
I'm Josh. I'm certain he's
Yes.
Danish, actually, mate.
Are you sure?
Yes, he's a Dane.
Have a little. Are you sure he's Danish or he's not Swedish?
No, he's
Oh,
from
look, the
Denmark, I
guest
swear.
is going to
This is
fact
now.
check you.
Now this is a fun one. This should be a fun one. Whose
Here we go.
knowledge is more about Lou's favourite driver? Here we go. Get the drum rolls in there, please, ladies and gentlemen. Lou, have you found it?
No, I can't.
Where is
Struggling to find
Kevin Magnussen from?
name.
Oh, Denmark.
Oh, slaughtered. Slaughtered.
Champ.
I always thought he was Swedish.
1 point to JC.
Because you're a racist.
I always
you
thought
don't
he
know
was
the difference between
Swedish.
Sweden and Denmark.
Oh, God.
Where is Denmark?
Moving on.
Okay, moving on
Okay.
swiftly.
Moving on from that one. Lou, we now want to know, what is your favourite team? If K-Mag is your favourite driver, who is a Danish driver, yes, who is your favourite team and why are they your favourite team?
I don't know. I don't like. This is going to sound like such a girl response, but I don't have a favorite team. I like different teams for different reasons.
That's
Do you know
not
what
a
I
girl
mean?
response.
I don't have a favorite. I don't like Haas is definitely not my favorite team. I just like Magnussen. Whereas I think I'd say McLaren because that's what I'm wearing at the moment. But it's only like, again, I said before, I'm a merch fan. Whatever merch looks cool, that's the fan of the team that I like.
That's where you go. Yeah, that is very.
So Mercedes have a new like range out with the tie-dye. Now I'm a Mercedes fan.
That tie-dye stuff looks so nice.
It looks so
as well.
good.
Lou, do you want to know something that will instantly make you want to get rid of that? So do I. Also own some tie-dye merch, so you might want to not wear that anymore. We can't wear the same thing.
Well, because you're wearing it, I won't want to. I'm just going to wear it. We're going to be wearing the same thing at the same time. How embarrassing for you.
You can't stop her.
For you or for me?
You can't stop her.
I won't be embarrassed.
My stuff as well all the time.
I don't think I've ever seen JC embarrassed. So he'll just make it embarrassing for you somehow.
That's okay. We can all just wear tie-dye to Silverstone.
Yeah.
And you know what will happen anyway is I'll buy it and then Lou will just end up wearing it anyway. Because that's
exactly
as for the listeners to preface that, because it's not weird. Lou is my girlfriend, by the way, so that's absolutely fine. That's
I forget.
So no need to be pan. I'm not just going to get
Where
random
somebody
people in my
asked
clothes.
this question.
Track down Josh.
Mental.
Yeah, throw out the who asked, who
Nobody
cares
asked.
questions.
Yeah.
So now your favourite team is all of them, which is an absolutely perfect answer. It's one of the better ways to support because you can root for everybody.
I've got a
Unlike
question, class.
people who are only singular fans.
This is to do with team.
Go for it.
If you were to say what your favourite team from like the past is, what would you maybe say from that? So you got like classic McLaren or you got like classic Ferrari, like what you probably would have seen your dad watch on TV. Like if there's someone that comes to mind, if you had to choose one from the past, what would you maybe go with that?
Like a historical team.
Yeah, like a historical team. Because everyone's got one. And
Yeah.
I think if I was to, because I've not been watching it for very long. So like the only time I used to watch it was when my best friend's dad used to watch it. And I just saw them as like cars driving around. I never really saw the teams. And it's going to sound like, obviously it's going to back up the point that you guys say that I'm a, what do you call it? Fan.
BTS fan.
BTS fan. Drive to Survive. Was it Drive to? Drive to Survive fan. Yeah. But I think when I first started watching it, my favorite team was Red Bull because I liked how they were driving. I know it's awful, but
there goes Josh. In one fell swoop.
I liked it was good, and then Max ruined it.
I
back you up on that. I used to love Red Bull
as hard as it would.
I used to love Red Bull when Seb was there. So it's ever since, to be fair, ever since Christian Horner got more airtime, really, is when they started going downhill for me.
Yeah.
Down.
So
doing home and away.
Now, coming on to our last question, go to Christian Horner holidays. That's our last question that we asked everybody is, what's your favourite track for that matter? Now, we know this, but for the listeners, what is your favourite track?
No, I get it wrong. Monza. Not Monaco, so Monza.
Monza.
I like Monza, but that's the only because that's the one I can drive on the sim. It's the one that I've got fast on the sim.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey.
You know, it's the one that Josh can't drive on the sim for some reason, so you're probably quicker than Josh if you could.
Because you're a poo driver. It's not easy.
No, you just forget to brake at the first.
Those chicanes well hard.
There you go. Let's see. You got spirit animal there, Josh. Yeah. Same thing. Exactly the same thing. So thank you very much for that, Lou. That is good. We ask everybody who comes on, future guests and everybody who's here, we always ask our top 3 of those things because it just gets so we can know a lot more about yourself. So now, just going to put a little segue out there. So for everybody who's listening, please don't forget on the YouTube and on other platforms to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for when we upload all content so you can keep up to date with everything we post. Just letting everybody know that. So, moving away from that. Lou, we're going to ask you a question. Okay? Well, I'm going to ask you a question, and the guys are going to take turns asking some questions, okay? So, how did you get into Formula One, Lou?
To be fair, it was you. You got me into Formula One because you started watching it. And then, because you've always been you've always been up to date with it, but you really started watching it a couple of years ago. And then we watched it, and I used to watch it and fall asleep and be like, oh, lovely. And then we watched The Drive to Survive, and I saw them as people, not cars. And I think that's a lot. And I know Drive to Survive has like gone downhill since like the like third season, or how many seasons they've done now. But I think I liked 5 now. Yes, but the first one really allowed you to see them as drivers. So you got to see who Lando Norris was, and you got to see who Max Verstappen was, or Lewis Hamilton. Like, whereas before, you didn't know those are just cars driving around unless you actually followed them and them as a person. But yeah, so I would say that is what got me into it, was you and The Drive to Survive. And then after that, Drive to Survive come horrible, come poo.
So with getting it into that, did you feel like it kept a grip on you to continue watching for other seasons, or was it more my input and making you watch it every Sunday, making you sit down with me?
No, I think it was
with takeaways.
I think it was The Drive to Survive. I mean, the was it wasabi that we used to have?
Katsu curry Sunday. That's what it was.
That was a good pull in.
Katsu curry. Yeah.
No, I think it was Drive to Survive. I like, because I started, because that's when I started liking McLaren. Well, I started liking first Red Bull and then McLaren, because I was like, oh, Lando Norris and Daniel Ricciardo are on the same team. And I do think it was Drive to Survive that kept me into it, because I was excited to see the drama the next season it came out. But then it got worse and worse and worse, and that was just horrible to watch.
Netflix made drama.
Which made it bad.
It is a bit of a thing. But no, it's pretty interesting though, that's another thing that can keep you really, really kind of like hooked in. And it's a good way for casual people to keep hooked in, like yourself. Even though like you've kind of stated that it kind of goes downhill a little bit more. It's a good way to keep a lot of the casual viewers there. They might only watch after a season of Drive to Survive has been out, and they'll watch for 5 or 6 races and tune out until another season brings them back in. But
it's quite cool to watch it with you guys. Like, it's quite cool. Like when we went around Ryan's, we all watched it around Ryan's. I know it was an awful race, but it was quite cool to sit there and watch it with everyone. Like, so it's quite nice to be.
I think halfway through it, we all just got up and went to the bar.
For the listeners, we basically it was Imola last year, where they didn't open the DRS for like 45 laps, and no one was anywhere. Mercedes were in the bin. Red Bull were 1,000 miles in front.
Lewis got lapped by Max, wasn't it? So it was quite a nice race to watch for us Lewis fans and the Brits.
That was horrible race. Oh, it was awful.
Disgusting.
In all fairness, there was a few of us there that were...
who was our only hope, binned it.
Yeah.
Classic Leclerc at that point. But yeah, so that's the race that we were referencing, and I think the viewers will also say very comfortably that was one of the most boring races in modern F1 history.
Yeah,
so
nothing happened. It was just a train of cars going around.
Oh, it's horrible. I think, Josh, you have a question for Lou, don't you, lined up?
I do. Lou,
yes, indeed.
What do you think of F1 now, since before you started watching it? So obviously when you started watching it with Josh a couple of years ago, and then obviously got into Drive to Survive, has your opinion changed on Formula One since?
Yeah, because I never realised. I could try to explain it. So yes, because when I first started watching it, I thought it was about the racing, and then it ended up not being about the racing and about the FIA rules and shit like that. And it wasn't, I don't know, it went from like good racing, and even in the last, like, I guess, 4 years, it went from just racing at the beginning to, oh no, we can't do that. Oh no, you can't do that. Oh, you're going off the line, whatever you call it. And it's just like, I don't know, I don't like it. Or like, they do so many red flags now, and it's, I thought that was the whole idea of it. Was that like, not the danger of it, but I thought it was the idea that you can, that's why they have wet tyres, because you can race in the rain. But they're like, no.
As a new fan,
come in.
Is it confusing / hard to follow when there's like so many minutiae and rules that like change year in, year out? Or like you said, why are they not racing in the wet, or like throwing so many red flags? Does that frustrate you / don't understand? Like,
it's it's well confusing. I felt like when I first started watching, obviously as anything, when you first start watching anything, I was like, It's like, what's that mean? What's this mean? What's that mean? But then I think over the years there's been more rules and there's been more things in place. And yeah, I think it's hard to keep up with, especially as a new fan, like, or not like you guys, like a committed fan. You kind of like, you come away and you're like, what's happened? And then I have to get Josh to explain it to me. And he's like, oh, it's just this.
Do you think,
I don't, I feel like there's more rules now though. There's like, it feels like they've become like health and safety, like they've taken health and safety to a whole nother level. It's like too much.
Do you think the official channels do a good job of helping people like yourself, like not maybe brand new fans? Because even sometimes when stuff happens, even I'm probably Josh the same. I remember Ryan, like, why have they done that? Like the red flag for Albon.
For the gravel, red flag for the gravel.
Yeah, and you think, does that really need to be thrown? But then, like, even hardcore fans, we don't understand. Do you think for a new fan as well, like yourself, do you find it, like, why have they done this? Because you don't find out, do you? You just see it. Would you prefer to see?
Yeah, and they don't explain. They don't explain it. They don't explain. Obviously, like they can't do it every time they bring in like we're coming into red flag, and this is the reason why we are. But it'd be nice if there was a clear reason for the red flag. I mean, if it's tipping it down, okay, you go, yeah, right, it's tipping it down. It's obviously red flag for that.
Even Japan last year, like, look at that. It doesn't happen, though, does it? So even confusing there, doesn't it? So even that adds. What would
with that coming off of that though, Lou? What would your take be with, because you watched, unfortunately, Spa 2021 with me where there was no race. So do you think those conditions were too much where they could have raced probably at certain points? Do you remember that race for a start?
Yeah, they could have. Yeah. No,
that was horrible.
It was really horrible rain, wasn't it? That was the one where they kept going out, come back in, going out, come back in, wasn't it? Yeah, and I just didn't. I think they should have just gone, no, we're going to leave it. I don't know if they can do that, change the whole weekend, but like leave it to like later in the afternoon, like stop it. Let's start again in the afternoon if it's not raining, or do it on the Monday. Because I think it was like a bank holiday Monday as well. I feel like
they did dabble with that idea, but
they should do.
Just change the whole weekend. Just shift the weekend.
Don't worry, bank holiday in England, that's fine. No, to be fair, to answer that though.
You're saying about do you think that was bad racing conditions? Obviously, in the qualifying, you saw what happened to Lando Norris on Eau Rouge, and that was just through qualifying. He spun out and quite a bad wreck.
And they can't see anything, can they? Like that was bad conditions. They literally, you could see they couldn't see anything. But it was like I could then stop trying and stop trying to go back out. You can see they can't do anything. But I know that's not a F1 thing. I know it's not like, obviously the main thing is you're there to see a race, but all the fans that were there just kept getting like, oh, we're going to see a race. No, we're not. Oh, we're going to see a race. No, we're not.
And they never got reimbursed, which is the most disgusting thing.
They just sat there to watch the cars go around behind the safety car for 6-7 laps.
Yeah, that's a lot of people to reimburse. There's loads of people to reimburse.
How many fans do you reckon they lost that day who went there, who will never pay for a race again? Or just stop watching because of that.
Loads that will never pay for a race again, but I doubt they lost any fans because obviously you just watch from your house and just do what we done. Just do other things while it's on in the background. I think I washed my car while I was watching it.
I remember you saying that, actually. That's weird. That's a thing. I didn't think I had that memory, but I actually literally do have that memory of you going, I washed the car while it was on. Yeah. I laid on the sofa for the whole 5.5 hours complaining.
No, but that's what I did. Car and had it propped up just on this bit of wood, watching it. Every time they went, "Oh, we're going racing," I just went, "What?"
Oh no, we're not. No, again,
carry on.
Can't make a decision. So that's pretty interesting, though. Ryan, you had a question for Lou as well, right?
Yeah, it's actually tailing off of the conversation we've just had. To be fair, it would spiral quite well. Is there anything you would change about F1 to this date to make it better for new fans and maybe just fans in general that are going to the tracks?
I think it's different because it's kind of, that's like two questions. I think going to the track, as in seeing it live, I think needs to be so different because I feel like we miss so much seeing it live. I know you can get the commentation like headphones, but I feel like it was great and we were there watching it last year and it was like, we're in it, but we missed so much of the race. I feel like they need to have commentators like out on the speakers louder or something like that. I don't think there's anything I would change. I don't know. Yeah, I don't think there's anything I would change. Maybe just like show other people on the track, because they always like focus on one person and not even doing anything. And it's like they should be focusing on like the different battle. Like they go on the front battles, which is great, and then they come back to the back battles, but not really. Like the back people, like they don't come to them. And there's so many good battles that happen.
Cameras.
Yeah, 100%. Like, because then you can see what's going on. Because some people don't want it. Like, let's say, if I say for myself, I like Magnussen, you don't get to see them because it's always Max and I don't know who's at the front at the minute. Max and Max. More Max.
Max. And then occasionally.
George Russell, then his engine blows up.
Yeah.
And then Max again.
Yeah.
And Alonso occasionally splashes his finger in there, but.
Yeah, Alonso is a little hello, anyone here? What's interesting, actually, quick segue, you said Alonso. Do you see he could be dating Taylor Swift? Have you seen that develop?
No, that's not a thing.
Honestly, have a look. Look, did everybody else know that? Because I've just seen that unfold.
Oh, it just came up on my thing.
Did you see the comments though? It was like the breakup songs would be immense.
Yeah.
No, that's not true.
Yeah, actually true. And then to back it up, Fernando used a Taylor Swift song in a recent TikTok as well when everybody was talking about it. Actual thing. And he's smirking well hard about it as well.
Happy about it.
Yeah, but he's not Taylor Swift vibes. I'm sorry.
Don't know. You don't know who Fernando Alonso's like. It's crazy. You know, bit of a wild one. So is Taylor, I think. I don't know. I'm not a Taylor Swift fan. I have no idea. You like Taylor Swift though. Taylor Swift wild? This is a different tangent. But it's crazy news, isn't it? Crazy news. So,
but there's another
that was
bit.
A quick.
I don't think they're together.
So the whole thing of you wouldn't change anything about F1. Is there nothing like, for instance, earlier you said you wanted the red flags to be more clearer, or like the little rules that they're changing every year in, year out to be not being changed?
That would be good to be explained more. I like when I quite like they've been bringing it in already, but where they show the gaps between. I like that they're showing the gaps between the actual visual. So obviously they show it on the numbers on the grid, but they actually show the visual with the I think that's good, and I think that's helping in a sense people like myself watching, because I'm like, oh, actually you're well close, or oh no, you're not close. That's good. But I definitely think having more, I mean, they have pop-ups all the time, but having more pop-ups explaining why the red flags are happening, or clearer about the FIA. I mean, I know it's not so much now, but the FIA rules are just...
To be fair, no one knows about the rules. They're so wishy-washy.
No.
They're like 1 minute.
It just changes.
Yeah. It's like the one, we were talking about it before with Aston Martin having their jack under the car. Like, all of a sudden, like you know the rule is probably you're not allowed to touch the car, potentially. All of a sudden, apparently the front jack can be touched, but a new fan would be like, well, if you can't touch the car, then don't touch the car. But apparently now that you can or you can't, no one knows. Not even the FIA
Jack isn't a human unless his name's Jack.
Yeah, no, it's now... So it used to be... I think it was just you can't start work on the car or a human to touch it until your penalty is up. But obviously Jacks can go under. But now it's you can't touch the car at all. It comes in, stops, and you have to wait.
No, that's not even it.
Nothing.
No, you've misquoted it again. You've done the FIA. You're allowed to drag it in with the front jack because they're the ones that guide in the car. So you're allowed to touch it with the front, but not the back because you can't lift it. Exactly. See your face
again. Just shoved the front.
Nonsense.
But, yeah, but they just put the jack under it. They didn't lift it up.
Yeah, but they need the front jack to allow it. Anyway, we digress.
Well, there you
FIA
go.
A complete
you saw
mess.
it here first.
Yeah.
FIA.
If you want to have a look, everybody, listeners, if you want to have a look at why the FIA is so bad, we actually did a video about that. We'll do a pin to it on the top of the screen somewhere. Go and check that video out where we discuss the FIA quite a little bit more.
Reverse camera.
Yeah. But let's all point in different ways, and then whoever gets on top after Riverside's finished, we can see what happens.
That way.
So, Lou, I've got a question for you. Coming in hot, this question. This one is going to cause some spicy debate on the TikTok and the Twitter.
The TikTok.
Who do you think is going to win the World Drivers' Championship and the World Constructors' Championship
this year?
This year.
But it's so difficult. It's going to be Max. It's going to be Max because of the way he's driving ahead.
3 on the dot, yeah? 3 on the dot.
It's going to be Max. It's going to be Max.
Well,
it's going to be Max.
No,
but not because it is. Look how far ahead they are. I mean,
they could have a serious issue. Their car.
It could. But then who's behind? Who's behind at the minute? Because I know that Aston Martin were quite close, but who's behind at the minute?
I think it's
a mix up between
Aston Martin, Mercedes, isn't it?
Yeah, because it's quite
Mercedes, Aston Martin.
Aston Martin's the one.
Mercedes have been strong there consistently, whereas Aston Martin.
But George Russell's retirement has probably kicked them off, right?
Yeah, but don't forget, Lance Stroll had the same thing. So I think it's roughly the same. So I think they're not.
It's got to be.
I think Mercedes are in front just, but it's very close.
What, in the constructors or in the drivers? Not in the drivers. Constructors.
Oh, we don't class Red Bull are up there in the constructors and the drivers.
Yeah.
So,
that's hard.
especially
but yeah, I think
with Perez didn't get any points either. So
Red Bull, Mercedes, Aston Martin, and then I think drivers is obviously Max. Then maybe either Lewis or Alonso.
I don't feel Lewis is up there. No, I was going to say I don't think Lewis is up there, and not because like obviously they might be putting more energy into George at the moment because obviously Lewis is like I'm going to chill, but I think I think it'd probably go Max. Is it Alonso? Is Alonso who else in Red Bull? Not Red Bull. Who's else in Aston Martin?
So you got
who's just paged it up as well.
You got Verstappen, Perez, Alonso, Hamilton, Sainz, Stroll, Russell, and then further on.
Oh, so Russell's underneath.
Russell's in.
That was because of his retirement. But, otherwise, he would have been right up there.
I didn't think that.
It was a shame of that retirement. To be fair,
teams.
I'm not anti-Lewis Hamilton. I feel like I've been a bit anti-Lewis Hamilton. I'm definitely not, by the way.
It's Red Bull.
Twitter will love you for that one. Yeah, Twitter loves you for that.
Twitter.
I'm not anti.
Twitter loves Hamilton bashing.
Yeah.
Unless there's Team LH come after you, because otherwise there's pitchforks. Right.
Yeah. I just feel like I've been like anti him and I haven't been.
So to go back onto it, so you reckon it's going to be Red Bull with Verstappen? You don't think Perez has got a shot this year? I thought you liked Perez. I thought we said you liked Perez.
I do like Perez, but they're mean to Perez. They don't let Perez in. They're just like, sorry, we've got Max. Fuck off, Perez. It's horrible.
Sounds about right.
I think I actually saw a comment about this the other day on TikTok. It might be on one of our videos or someone else's, but they were basically saying, and this is a question to everyone, including Lou. Do you think if Perez just told Red Bull to shove it and done what he wanted during the races, would he be a better driver than Max in the same car?
No.
Because I don't think they'd let him.
No, but like as in not a better driver, but do you think he'd be able to take the battle to him closer than what he is now?
He's a good driver though. He's such a good, like the defense he did last year when it was towards the end of the season. He's a wicked driver. So I think he would be, but I think Red Bull is still. I do. I think like I kind of was right, and I think he would be. Not be better, but he would definitely be up on there. Well, no, but they're not letting him.
That was a comment off TikTok I was quoting, but I just put back that he may have had him in like a couple of races here and there, but he doesn't have the consistency of the good drives to keep it going with Max. He won't ever have that 100% lap consistency that Max has when he drives the car.
He can deliver no matter what the circumstance, where Perez will choke on, unless it's a street circuit, of course. But
why do
Perez will choke. I mean, we'll see how he does at Baku.
Say again?
It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, why do we think that is?
Conspiracy. It's because Red Bull want you to believe that.
I'd say it's just
the Red Bull conspiracy
pressure.
I don't think it's that, because Checo is good under pressure. He is good. Like that's why he's good at street circuits, because that's just like different.
You say that, isn't it? But throwing it back to Monaco, he spun there, whether it was on purpose or not.
But he won.
He got but he got on top of pole, and then spun it in qualifying. I mean,
he didn't get
whether
pole.
That was on purpose or not.
He was like third or something.
Third or fourth, yeah.
But then he went on to win. So it ain't pressure. He's good at pressure. That is one thing.
Ferrari botched Leclerc's pit stop.
Yeah, but that's one thing I would say Checo has got in his locker is like being able to handle pressure. What I don't think he can handle, which I think is the problem for his entire like career. To be honest, is just that like next level, like the Maxes and the Lewises and have
raw pace.
He has it, but it's like infrequent. It's if there's 10 races,
no
he'll do it 4
consistency
times.
there to tie the laps together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a shame.
But can a team stop? Can a team stop a driver from being as good as they can be? As in, like, I know we joke about that they're like focusing more on George Russell or they give Max everything. Is that an actual thing?
100%. So Josh will know this because he's a massive Alonso fan from 2007. Oh, 100%. When even though I get roasted for saying this every time, when Lewis was a rookie coming in for his first year, they also got Alonso from Renault, and Ron Dennis absolutely loved Lewis Hamilton, and absolutely shafted Alonso. Apparently, even though Lewis just absolutely battered him when he was a rookie and 2-time world champ. So Josh is going to
classic Team LH. Put your glass on Team LH. Go on. Turn your hat forwards, everyone can see.
No.
So yeah, exactly what Josh is saying there. Teams can very much hinder people, but nowadays with the electronics, when a team will come on a radio and say, press button 12, default 5 and all this sort of stuff, there'll be like engine mode settings. So if a team wanted to, which none of us here are saying that they do,
well, we know Mercedes.
We know of.
Look at James and Valtteri.
They can just turn a button down.
Valtteri got shafted for years against James and Lewis. Like definitely.
Well,
but you can also say that about. You can also say that about
Red Bull. The actual engine.
Where was it?
Spain last year.
No, it was this year when they said to Sergio, "You need to hit a certain lap time."
Yeah, Saudi.
And then Sergio asked
Saudi
Max what lap times he was doing, and they said to him like half a second slower than what Max was doing. So
teams can play a very funny game.
That wasn't Red Bull. That was Jos going.
Oh, go on, mate. Go on.
Tell him to slow down. I want my son at the front, or I'm going to punch everyone's lights out.
Careful. Just careful.
I mean, to be fair, you saw Jos's face at the end of that race. It was quite obvious.
That's so funny.
Raging.
That's so funny. Oh. Everyone defending it, and I was like, the man is the saltiest person on the planet.
He's allowed
to be mad. Classic petrol station joke. Moving on. Josh, you've got another question for Lou, I believe, and then we'll wrap up the questions. Josh, you have a question for Lou?
I have another question. Lou, what has been your favourite season since you started watching Formula One, and why?
It would be last year. I know a lot of people would probably disagree, but I really
2022.
No.
21.
Yeah. So yeah. 20. No. When was the horrendous race?
2021.
Yeah. So 2020. The my lord, the world was ending with you boys. It's too much.
Was about as loud as a Boeing.
Oh no, I think that was my favourite because I think that was the first year that I'd properly got into it and I could watch all the races and the qualifying. I didn't have work getting involved, as in the way. So I could watch all of it. And I just loved I like the rivalry between Max and Lewis. And it was so boring because the one before that was so it was Lewis is in front and Lewis is in front. And it was a very much now, it was switched roles, now is Max. But I just loved it. And I liked the fact that you guys were so in it as well. And obviously anti-Max and pro-Lewis. And then at the time I was pro-Max. But it was just good because it was good racing. Max cut the point at some points, and so did Lewis, but it was good. It was just good racing. And then the bit where you had, is that even 2021, where you then had Perez helping Max around that?
Yeah.
That was sick.
Every day.
So good.
Feels like a long time
ago.
It feels like ages ago, but that was so I think that's the best racing I've seen.
We can actually add a story to this as well, can't we, Lou? So we went to the Lap of Lights in 2021, which was 2 days in Silverstone, 2 days before the final race. And for the listeners who might not know, the Lap of Lights is something that's held at Silverstone where you drive around the circuit with all these flashing lights at Christmas time. Cool. We were sitting in the car and you tuned into the Silverstone radio and they did a thing, and there must have been 400 cars on the circuit maybe, and they did beep for Max if you want him to win the championship, or beep for Lewis, right? When it was beep for Max, it was a skull again. Right, the thing, beep for Lewis, you had screaming out of the cars. I was making sure it was as loud as possible. It was I've never experienced an experience wasn't it, Lou? It was incredible, the atmosphere in Silverstone.
Can I just say one
it
thing?
was amazing.
For the people on TikTok that are going to say this, yes, we are crying about 2021 still. You can stop putting it in the comments. Thank you. Carry on.
Pray for 2021.
Hashtag pray for 2021.
If you don't like it, go watch something else.
Oh, nice.
No, to be fair though, I'm still crying at Michael Schumacher taking Villeneuve out. If we're going to go that far.
That far back.
Do you mean Damon Hill?
No, because he done Villeneuve.
Do you mean Damon Hill?
I
didn't to be fair, and Villeneuve. Actually, did it to
he did it to everybody.
Everybody, didn't he?
Yeah. I wouldn't have been surprised he did it to himself.
That would spark up some debate. He did. He did.
I think he did.
Monaco.
Yeah, I know exactly. Yeah, he did it to himself in Monaco. Yeah, but he tried to get pole there.
That'll get some hand on.
So that kind of makes sense.
Just like
Rosberg, because he's a rat as well.
Knives are out tonight. Jesus.
That is funny.
Rosberg's a rat. Everyone can agree Rosberg's a rat.
I quite like Nico Rosberg.
That's because he's a YouTuber.
I don't know who. I'm not sure which one he is.
He's the blonde German YouTuber,
but
who also beat Lewis Hamilton.
Because that sounds like I don't know F1. I do know who Nico Rosberg is. Just to put it out there.
Leo would love it Leo would love it if he was here. He can list off all of Nico Rosberg's accolades.
He's a driver, isn't he?
He's a YouTuber by trade.
He was Lewis's teammate in Mercedes.
Oh yeah, he's now the presenter. Yeah, he's now the presenter on Sky.
World champion in equal machinery though.
There it is. He did do that. He did indeed.
Just to annoy JC there because he told everyone to stop doing that.
So wrapping up the questions here, we're going to throw this to the floor. So we have a race after this drought of 3 weeks without any race, and we finally have a race weekend.
It felt like a
Hoorah.
Hoorah. Hated it.
Oh. So I'm going to throw it to the floor. Hoorah. Hoorah.
Hoorah.
Maroons. So I'm going to throw it to the floor and see. I want who you think is going to win the Azerbaijan Grand Prix.
Max.
Who's going to be the best team of the weekend? And I want a wild take from each one of you. We're going to start with our esteemed guest, Lou. Who do you think is going to be the winner first?
I don't know the track, so it's going to be really difficult because you guys are going to know the track and what they've done previous in that track.
Josh, screen the track layout.
No, quickly just throw a graphic. We have no thing to throw up. Quick, throw it on the screen.
Bang.
There's a map. Boom.
And
it's the one with the really long straight in the
Baku
city.
is the one that goes around the city, like physically around the city. That's not Monaco. We have a huge fat straight.
Yeah.
And Lewis.
Oh, okay.
Brake magic, if you remember that, where he just went straight on. If you remember.
Is it even Bahrain? I thought it was something else when I looked the other day. When I looked earlier. Is it Baku?
Baku, yeah.
Baku.
Azerbaijan.
Azerbaijan. Oh, right. I read Azerbaijan, not Baku.
No.
Who do you think is going to win that one?
Magnussen. No joking.
That's the wild take.
That's the hot one.
Wild take.
I think that is the best wild take we've had.
No.
Magnussen Grand Prix winner.
Well, that's my answer. There you go. Done.
No, so who do you actually think is going to win the Grand Prix? We can say Magnussen as your wild take. We can add that one to the list. Who do you think? Who do you reckon is going to win the Grand Prix?
Is Max good on them and city races?
He's in that Red Bull.
Everywhere.
He's good everywhere.
To be fair though, was it last year or was it the year before? His tyre blew up. Was it 20? Oh, that might be 2020 actually. That was a year.
2021.
That was 21, wasn't it?
Oh, that's that meme when he's kicking the tyre.
Sent Lewis straight.
Lewis could have won the championship there.
Yeah,
but didn't.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say Alonso. Because he's in the top. He's in the top 3, isn't he? He's up there. So
yeah,
spicy.
I'm gonna say Alonso.
That's a good answer. To be
love to see it. I mean, I hate Alonso.
Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
What? Hear what? You know what's coming.
Who's your winner, Josh?
Do you know what? Fuck it. No, I really want to see Ferrari do well. No, because it's not going to work. Nothing's going to happen until Imola, innit? Because they're saying about, these side pods are going to be amazing, man. All that kind of shit. You're like, no, it's just bollocks. All right, just
50 seconds a lap, lad.
you fucked it this year. I really want to see Ferrari do well, and as a result, I want to see Charles do well. So I'm going to go with Carlos Sainz win.
Yeah.
You said Charles and then Carlos Sainz.
Well, this is Ferrari, though, isn't it? They want Charles to win, and all of a sudden Carlos wins for some reason. Pit stop.
Wow, yeah, true.
Yep.
I love Carlos.
Stay out.
There it is. There it
That's
is.
enough, otherwise we get demonetised.
Ryan, who's your winner? Yeah, sung it perfectly.
I want Charles Leclerc to win.
Charles Leclerc. Nice.
It's only because you fancy him.
To be fair,
Oh, yeah,
who doesn't?
Not on everybody.
Right, come on.
Not me.
Have you
Lou
looked at him?
thinks he's not attractive.
I
How?
don't.
How?
He's so like he's just not. I mean, look at Josh. He's just not my type. Like not in a bad way.
I honestly thought you were roasting Josh then, because it was just like, well, yeah, look at Josh.
He's a rat.
Am I just catching strays again?
Yeah,
just
Yeah,
sitting
you
there
always
catching
catch
strays
strays.
all day long.
No, I meant
never stop catching
look at Josh compared to Carlos. Not Carlos Sainz.
Carlos Sainz.
Carlos.
I think they're pretty.
Carlos
they're both
Sainz.
pretty
Not
I'm
the
lost
same.
as well now. I'm lost now. I'll leave you for Leclerc. That's fine. You've heard it here first.
Not if I don't get there first.
I always suspected.
Sorry.
So, I want to hear, Lou, what team do you think is going to do well? What
No,
team
you
do you think is
didn't
gonna perform well?
answer what you
I
thought.
didn't answer. I always forget to
Josh,
answer.
You didn't ask
Who
Josh
do you
Ryan
want
either.
to win the race?
No.
You did.
Yeah, I did.
I
Ryan
said
did
Charles
quite-
Leclerc. That's how it started. The whole
okay,
thing.
that's,
was
far,
look
that's
at
so far behind. That's so laggy that I am.
Josh. So, Josh, who do you want to win the Azerbaijan Grand Prix?
I think Perez will win, honestly.
Perez.
I think Perez has got a dub there, not just because it's a street circuit, because the last time he was there, he wasn't as quick as Max, but I remember there was a bit of Red Bull team play shenanigans with him swapping with Max. I don't think he's going to let that happen this year. I think he's going to be faster to pole position. He's going to get pole, and I think he's going to go pole to victory and defend from some red flags
Suppose he is
that will happen because it's Baku.
Who's going to get the
He's
red
the
flag?
title
Who's
victor.
going to get the red flag? Kevin Magnussen.
Logan.
No.
Crashes himself.
Not
Magnussen
Kevin.
will be in the lead.
The Kevin, he's going to win.
No, Kevin.
Either.
We look like a bunch of wankors.
No, who
Just drives into
spins?
the
Oh,
wall.
Fox smashed my door.
Please.
Who spins a lot? Who spins?
Kevin Magnussen.
Because Mazda spin isn't on there anymore. No, he doesn't.
No, Alex Albon. He spins a lot.
And Lance Stroll.
To be fair, I don't think there's really anybody that's...
Who's Lando's partner?
Oscar Piastri. The
Piastri.
most
Piastri.
washed rookie
He
going.
How
Not
is he
that you don't,
How
yeah,
is
but you don't even notice he's there. Like I can't even remember who he is.
Yeah, that's Lando as well. He's like a ghost.
That's because he's in that McLaren, which is a dog.
I'd say either Nick De Vries or Logan Sargent to bring out our red flag.
Oof. Nick De Vries has been all right. Both of them have
Yeah,
been
they're two
decent.
good shouts.
Yeah, but both been all right.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Who else? Who else is it going to be?
George Russell.
Don't say
Lewis.
Lando Norris because it's not going to be. Oh, George Russell. Okay, yeah, sure.
He'll be on fire.
It's gonna happen, mate.
It's all good.
It's going to happen.
Josh is just fuming.
Be
that his
Lewis
favourite
with
George is,
Alonso 'cause he
George
can't
is
race
worried
at the
this
front.
coming last couple of weeks because there is a minor general election coming up in the UK and he has to get his ballot paper in time. So he's definitely going to be worried.
There's a general election. When's the general election?
Soon.
We need Ryan
Anyway,
back on.
politics.
This
We
is
don't
a
talk
Formula
about
One
politics on this
podcast.
one. We don't talk
Yeah.
about politics on this one.
Candles.
Moving on.
Don't talk about
Josh.
candles.
So, Josh, what team? So, wait, who did actually answer that?
Me.
Lou.
You
No,
answer.
no one
No, I
answered.
don't know. You.
Oh, no, we didn't even get to teams.
No.
I was answering with Sergio. So I asked Lou before I had to re-answer the question. Lou, what's the best team for the weekend?
I'm gonna stick with, because I'm saying Alonso. I'm gonna stick with Aston Martin. They've just been good. So I feel like we're gonna go with them.
They have developed.
That's a good way to sum it up. They literally have just been good.
They've just been good. So
if
just
we're
sit
being
on-
pedantic about it,
We like that.
Alonso has been good. Lance has been all right, but shit.
Yeah. To be
Yeah,
fair.
Lance has been what Lance is going to be. He ain't going to be beating Alonso, is he?
I really hope we see someone else in Silverstone rather than Lance Stroll. I'm not gonna lie.
And Lawrence.
We saw him and his dad like all the time. Like we literally saw him 5 times coming off the aeroplane.
Big Stroll
The helicopter.
and small
Saw-
Stroll.
I kind of saw
Literally.
the
Yeah.
grid.
Oh, okay, Ryan.
Pit walk.
All right, yeah. With your paid promotion nonsense.
I don't like
Josh,
Lance
who's your
Stroll.
best team?
Best team?
Yeah,
to win
best
the
team
race.
for the weekend coming up.
Best team of the weekend coming. Okay.
Predictions.
Cross mouth. I got a fucking left
Come on,
field.
give
I
us
got
one,
a
give us one, give us
left field.
one.
I got left field. I feel like Alpine are going to have a really good weekend. They look really racy.
Yeah,
Like
no, they
last
crashed
time.
into
Remember,
each other.
Ocon does like to crash into
Yeah.
teammates at Baku.
No,
Remember
I
that.
feel like they're going to have a good weekend.
Funny you say that. Pierre Gasly done it last time, so maybe Ocon wants his revenge.
It was Ocon's fault, mate,
Actually,
last time in
Memphis
Australia,
for the
wasn't it?
rest of the drama.
No, it was Ocon's fault, wasn't it, in Australia? What are we talking about?
Oh yeah, I forgot he stuck it up on the outside.
Ryan, who do you think is going to be the? Who's your best team? Who's your best team? What you got cooking? We got Aston Martin. We got Alpine. What's your best team?
They're
Ryan.
different. They're all different.
I really want Ferrari to have a good weekend, just to finish with both cars.
I agree. I miss
be
Ferrari being there.
Quite nice.
That'd be a first.
I just miss both of them Ferraris going over the finish line and not being pushed back into the garage halfway through the race.
Do you know what I miss as well with that, Ryan? I miss the Italian national anthem.
Yes, I miss
I miss
that.
seeing
That's
that.
such a
So
good
I
anthem.
miss seeing that.
Oh
Or
man,
listening
the
to that.
Italian national anthem is the best anthem going. It's so good.
Yep.
By far.
Yep.
By far. I put the soundbar on and whack it up when
To
that
be
comes
fair,
on.
though,
Oh,
The Azerbaijan Grand Prix national anthem is absolutely goated from last year.
do you remember that at Saudi with their national anthem? Did you see that? I don't know if we talked about it on a podcast or not, but the Saudi national anthem, I'd advise every listener to go on YouTube and do the Saudi national anthem from 2023. It was unbearable. I don't know what they were out of tune. They tuned their instruments wrong. Like that version that they played, George Russell's trying not to laugh on camera.
To be honest,
So
though,
it was pretty rough.
I'm just fed up of hearing the F1 outro constantly in Dutch. It's just really getting on my nerves. Just want to hear something different.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
just I'm
And
just sick
Austrian.
of hearing. I've got nothing against them. Just sick of hearing
Dutch and Austria,
Dutch and Austrian fucking.
It's just, it is like the F1 outro now, isn't it? You got the F1 intro, then you got Crofty
Yeah.
talking over
Nothing
it, and then you got the
against them.
Dutch and Austrian outro. It's just boring.
yeah.
boring.
So my team, I think is going to do well as Williams. I think Williams have got that straight line speed, which is going to. What do you mean the Williams still in it? What are you Williams still even it? And they go bankrupt. What's going on with him?
They're not like the same as Renault.
But yeah, I think Williams with a straight line speed is going to be pretty.
But you
Pretty
also
formidable.
agreed on Logan Sargent bringing out a red flag.
They're the two likely. I wouldn't say that. I don't think they're going to be really. I think it'll be something weird where the red flag will be.
It'd probably be like a puncher on someone's car.
People who don't like oil sitting on the track, maybe. No, they ain't going that far. They're not
Well,
going to
I know, they went
protest
to
where it really
Silverstone.
matters.
They ain't going to go to Baku, are they?
It's not quite. Not quite.
It's in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Well, I mean, even so. Oh, to be
They
fair,
went
did
to
you see they done it
Silverstone,
on
you know.
they done it on the snooker the other night? As
Yeah.
well. They got on a table.
And
I
they
did
it
see
at
that. That's so bad.
They also did it at the Formula E Berlin Grand Prix.
A fully
Like
electric
literally Formula E.
race, and oil protesters were on the track. So it seems
Yeah.
to be that you can't even do what
for
they
the
want,
most
and they're still
sustainable.
You're doing something wrong.
Should we be
Honestly,
giving them a
so bad.
platform,
So-
by the way? Probably not.
No.
No. Who are they anyway? Who cares?
Yeah, moving on. Dacia
Viewers,
Sandero
your
is now on sale in the UK for you viewers.
Wow.
Dacia Sandero is a very good car.
No one said
just
it isn't.
saying.
Lou, you. Anyway, carry on.
So we've already heard Lou's wild take of Magnussen's going to be the race winner. Josh, what's your wild take?
Max is going to DNF.
Oh, God. Oh.
Okay.
He's going to be the red flag, I
How
think.
by?
He's going to be
Is
the
he
red
gonna
flag.
be
But it's
spinning
not because he's had an incident. It's because something is going to go wrong for him, which might be tyre blowout or his engine gives up
My power is gone.
or DRS goes, but which means he has to
I'm losing power.
that kind of stuff. I think it's going to be one of those weekends.
Broken.
Fingers crossed. I want to hear a different outro to Formula One for once.
Yeah. What about yourself, Ryan? Give us a wild take.
Lance Stroll actually finishes in the top 3.
I just remember saying
On podium. So Lance Stroll podium.
Lance
go on.
Stroll podium.
I just remembered something from last time when I was asked about hot take about Australia. I said there'll be animals on the circuit, and there was.
There was.
And there
There
was
was an animal on the
You know
circuit.
who to put your bets on,
Get that
guys.
correct.
I know.
Ladies and gentlemen.
You heard it here
Yeah.
first.
JC is the
So
man. Yep.
Couple of roos.
Yep.
Yeah, that is very true. So, Ryan, your hot take, wild take is
Lance Stroll on the podium.
wow, Lance Stroll podium.
Stroll on pole.
Yeah.
Interesting. Lewis Magnussen winning the race.
And Josh.
Stroll on pole. Stroll pole.
Josh, what is your wild take of the race?
My hot take. My hot take. I think we're going to see a non-top 3 car on the podium. I think it's going to be
Just explain
not
that.
winning. But I think so. I don't think a Mercedes. There'll be someone other than a Mercedes, a Ferrari, or a Aston Martin. Oh, sorry, yeah, or a Red Bull on a podium. I think we're going to see something like Josh was hinting at earlier with a Alpine. I think as a wild one to throw it out there.
So an Ocon or Gasly win?
Ocon.
I reckon we could even see maybe the first time on a Haas up there
SD Bestie
with Magnussen as a podium, maybe. Or the person who is outperforming Magnussen is actually Hulkenberg. So
Hulkenberg.
maybe Hulkenberg or maybe a Williams, something like that. I think close to the podium or up there. That's my wild
That's a good take,
take,
to be fair.
basically my hot take.
That's a good take.
So I'm just going to take a moment out to, again, those are listeners, if you're enjoying this podcast, please like, subscribe, comment. We always reply to our comments, so want to have a chat with us, join the comments, and also hit the notification bell so you're aware when we upload everything, so you can make sure you're always up to date with BSDF1 content. Okay, everybody, how are we all doing? We all good? We all good? Because it's time for Louise to play our, what did we call it earlier on? Hold on, let me look.
Guest.
F1. Guess
F1.
who? Guess who?
Guess who? Ryan, jingle. Ryan, do a jingle right now.
That's John Cena.
Nice. Who saw that coming?
I literally done it and then it closed. I was like, oh, fuck.
Love it.
Ryan demonetising it in. Classic. So, Lou, how this is going to work, basically, we've got 5 questions here. They're all F1 related. I'm going to be saying one of these questions. We're going to do the first one because it should be an easy one. You should get this and you'll understand, okay? So there's 3 clues and you've got to tell me what the person is, okay? Right.
No
Are
phones.
you ready?
No phones.
1 second.
No,
No,
yeah,
okay,
no phones.
can I just get the
that
list of the
phone out your
drivers
hand.
up?
Turn your mobile off.
Can I just get the list of the drivers up?
No.
You should be fine. You should be okay. You should be
Okay.
okay. This
Okay,
is
phone.
Okay,
Wait.
yeah.
no. These aren't just drivers, by the way.
Suck my
These
balls, mate.
are F1 related. So don't think they're just going to be drivers. It could be anything. It could be tracks. It could be seasons.
Jensen Button.
Jensen
Boom.
Button.
I don't know
Straight
if
out
question
the
being
gate.
asked. So
Incorrect
fuck it, we'll have
answer.
Jensen Button.
Well, Jensen Button is our
There's
first
1
answer.
point.
Imagine
Okay.
if she said
So I'm going to ask the first one.
who's the goat in the wet in Canada. Jensen Button.
yeah. They're just out of nowhere.
Oh my god.
So I'm going to ask the first one. Josh is going to ask the second one, and Ryan's going to ask the third. Okay. So, boys, do you have it? It is in a Discord.
No.
Can you see it? Josh, you're asking the second one to Lou. Ryan, you're going to ask the third. I'll do fourth. And then Josh will finish off on the fifth. Louise, are you ready?
I need my serious hat on. I'm ready.
Pop the serious hat on there. Oscar Piastri has turned up, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, yeah.
So, Louise, what is the thing I'm talking about? 7 World Drivers' Championships. Drove for McLaren.
Oh, Lewis
Home
Hamilton.
race is Silverstone. So everyone give a round of applause there. Round of applause. Congratulations on your first answer. That is correct. Josh, would you like to give Lou the 3 clues to the second one?
So, Louise, he was a World Drivers' Champion once. He recently retired, and his nickname was Iceman. Or the Iceman.
He just retired. Vettel.
Is that your final answer?
Oh no, the ice. He recently retired. Oh, it's the only one I could think of that's recently retired. I don't know who else is retired. Not
Josh,
Danny
would like to
Ricciardo.
say the correct answer?
No.
Kimi Räikkönen.
Oh. Isn't Kimi Räikkönen the one that got set alight?
No, that's Grosjean.
No.
Goat.
Oh.
Yeah.
And Jos Verstappen. Ryan,
I mean,
Oh, so
question
bad.
number 3.
I honestly can't remember how
Answer
to
away.
say that first word. But
Tifosi.
home of the Lesmos, we'll go with. Pierre Gasly's first win, and nickname, the Temple of Speed.
Oh, this is bad. I don't know what was the first
Home of
bit?
Tifosi.
Home of the Lesmos. Or Tifosi. There you go.
I don't know what that means.
Home of the Tifosi.
Home
That
of the
also
Tifosi.
means home of the Italian fans.
Right, well, it'd help if you spell it right, because you put Tifos.
Well, you knew what I was saying.
Yeah, no. Well, Charles Leclerc. He's the only Italian, isn't he?
No, this is a track. This is guessing
Oh,
a
it's a
track. The home of the Tifosi. Pierre Gasly's first win. Oh my fucking god.
Monaco.
Final answer or not?
No.
One more try.
Just keep saying answers until you get it right, basically.
You're right with
Is
Yeah.
it?
Monza.
Gilles Villeneuve.
Monza is correct.
Correct. Okay, Lou. You've got 2 out of 3 so far. Now, these are tricky. Okay. Now, remember, they aren't just drivers. This is things about Formula One. Okay.
Yeah.
So, here are my 3 clues. Highly controversial moments, year-long FIA mistakes, and a new world champion. What am I hinting at?
You're hinting at the season 2021. Okay.
Immediately, well done. Absolutely.
Smashes
And that's
it out.
exactly how I wrote it as well. Smash it out the clock. Josh, take us home with the last question. Lou, this one's a tricky one.
It is. And Josh, there's some words in here that you cannot say on YouTube as well. It is important to a race win.
Oh, there is.
It's where you get your tyres changed, and it involves an apparatus to change a wheel.
Pit stop.
We-
Yeah.
Congratulations. 4
Just not
out of
be in
5.
YouTube monetization mode.
Yeah, no,
Content
I
bomb.
completely forgot that. Everybody knows what we're talking about.
Yeah.
There you go.
a wheel something.
That
Good done that,
word
actually.
is very much a demonetization waiting to happen.
You're not allowed to say that.
No.
Why not?
No.
No.
Not that we're monetized, by the way. We keep saying that. We're not monetized, so that doesn't actually matter.
We will be in the
Later down the
future,
line, it
so
might.
we don't want to
Who
ruin
knows?
it.
Yeah. We don't want to start off bad.
Louise, 4 out of 5 questions as our first guest. So you'll go on the board of guest answers. I guess the imaginary board of guest
When we
answers.
get a studio, which will be sometime whenever, we'll have a Top Gear style
My
magnetic
face.
board, and it'll be
Yeah.
Louise spearing at the top, and then we'll have our second guest
Yeah.
who might be appearing soon
Most
above him.
answers
good.
correct. Or in the
That's
quickest time.
Exactly that. Who answers the quickest? Classic.
You should do sim competitions, and then who can do the quickest time?
No,
Obviously,
there's no point because old sweat boy would all fucking win, wouldn't he?
Josh,
I do 20 hours a day.
Segue. Funny Lou says that because I'll now segue Josh into the Discord.
Oh, okay. Okay, I guess we can announce this at the end of the podcast or some things. I'm going to announce this after you've asked Lou. Have you enjoyed your time on the podcast today?
I have. Feel very relaxed.
Oh, amazing. That's what we like. That's what we like to hear. Totally aren't reading off a script that I wrote out for you earlier on. So
no, it's been chill.
Very nice.
It's been really good. It's been really good.
No, I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm glad you've enjoyed your time with us on this podcast on your what I know is a very busy day that you usually have anyway. So thank you for taking the time out to join us as our first guest on the show. Little bit of info here at the end. We have a Discord server for all of our lovely community that we're going to be opening up very, very soon. So stay tuned for that. We'll be posting that Discord around to join it on our YouTube community, our Twitter, and our TikTok and all these sort of things. So if you want to be a part of that community, please join. We'll be hosting races, community discussions, watch-alongs, loads of cool stuff that's going to be happening on there. So stay tuned for that. Apart from that, everybody, thank you once again for tuning in to the BSDF1 podcast. Thank you for listening. Lou, again, thank you so much for coming on today. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
And
it's good.
we might see you again on soon. If it's by popular demand, we might kick Ryan out and get you in. How's that sound?
Vote in this button here if you want me in and Ryan out.
Vote by doing the subscribe button. The more we have, the more we know, so that works.
Yeah. If we hit 200 subscribers by the next podcast, Lou's in, Ryan's out.
Ryan's going bald.
I'm gonna lose my job.
Old ski.
Again, listeners, thank you very much for taking the time to listen to the podcast. Until the next show, we will see you soon. Enjoy the race as well, everybody. Enjoy the race. We'll see you on the next one. Take care, everyone. Goodbye.